Keep it simple. High on a gentle grassy hill lived an old monk named Soren. His little cabin was made of weathered wood with a roof woven from leaves. He owned very few things: a bowl, a teapot, a sleeping mat, and a bell that chimed softly in the wind. Every morning, Soren would go outside to watch the sunrise. He did nothing else. He simply observed as the sun slowly rose over the mountains, as if the day was in a hurry to wake. But he was not. "Keep it simple," he would whisper, feeling the warmth of the sun on his face. "Life already knows how to bloom. It doesn't need you to push it." Then he would take a deep breath and smile. One day, a young traveler arrived at Soren's cabin, tired and overwhelmed. "Master," he said, "my mind is full of worries. I want to do many things, but everything feels complicated and heavy. How can I find peace?" Soren looked at him calmly and replied, "Do you see that stream flowing down there?" He pointed slowly. "It never tries to rush or carry stones. It just flows, and that's why it always reaches the river." The young man frowned, not fully understanding. "Keep it simple," Soren repeated. "Like the stream, don't fight against who you are or what you feel. Let life take its course. Don't make the simple complicated." The young traveler took a deep breath, gazing at the clear water. That night, the young traveler lay down on the mat beside the monk. Together, they watched the stars twinkle in the dark sky, little lights that didn't need anything else to shine. Soren broke the silence with a gentle voice. "Sometimes we think to be happy we must do great things, have a lot, or change the world. But true happiness isn't found in complexity. It's found in simplicity." The young man closed his eyes and listened to the wind rustling through the leaves. For the first time in days, his mind began to feel calm. "Keep it simple," he whispered. "No more, no less." Upon waking, the young traveler decided to put Soren's simple teaching into practice. Instead of letting his mind fill with endless lists and racing thoughts, he began by focusing on one thing at a time: his breath, each step he took, the warmth of the sun on his skin. Every action, no matter how small, became a conscious and peaceful act. Walking was more than movement. It was an intimate connection with the earth. Breathing was no longer just a need. It was a gift that filled his body with calm. He realized that by not rushing or trying to solve everything all at once, his mind grew serene. The worries that once felt so heavy now drifted like soft clouds, floating away without a trace. "It's as if life has become lighter," he thought quietly, watching a butterfly flutter nearby. "Everything seems less complicated simply because I stopped complicating it myself." From a distance, Soren watched with a peaceful smile, knowing the young man was beginning to understand a deep and simple truth. As the days passed, the young traveler understood that keeping it simple didn't mean giving up his responsibilities or dreams. Instead, it meant letting go of what wasn't essential and only made his path more complicated. He stopped carrying the weight of others' expectations, trying to control every outcome, and living trapped by the fear of making mistakes. Instead, he chose to focus on what was right in front of him, what he could do in the present, without letting his mind wander down uncertain paths. Every task, no matter how small, took on new meaning. Everyday life became clear and light, as if a heavy, invisible burden had disappeared. "Life is simple when you accept what is," he told himself, watching the clear afternoon sky. "You just have to learn not to get tangled up in what you cannot change." And so, the young man walked the path of simplicity, feeling that little by little, step by step, he found a space of freedom and peace within himself. One afternoon, as the sun began to set and the sky filled with golden and pink hues, the young traveler sat again beside Soren at the cabin's doorstep. The air was cool and gentle, and the sound of leaves rustling in the breeze created a peaceful melody. "Master," the young man said, his eyes a mix of worry and hope. "Sometimes life feels too chaotic, like a flooded river I can't control. How can I remember to keep things simple when everything around me seems so complicated and fast?" Soren looked at him with calm eyes and slowly pointed to a nearby branch. The branch swayed gently, its leaves dancing in the wind without struggle or resistance. "Watch the branch," he said softly. "It doesn't try to hold back the wind or stop it. It simply lets itself be rocked. It doesn't fight the current, but moves with it, adapting to every change without losing its essence." The young man followed the branch's movement, feeling the tension in his shoulders begin to ease. "That's how you must be," the monk continued. "When life feels complicated, don't cling or try to control everything. Don't fight the natural flow of things. Let yourself be carried calmly, like the branch swaying in the wind. Keep it simple," Soren repeated with a peaceful smile. "Simplicity isn't the absence of movement, it's harmony with it." The young traveler took a deep breath, feeling a new peace, as if he had found an answer not with his mind, but with his heart. That night, before falling asleep, the young traveler lay down on the mat inside the cabin. He closed his eyes and let his mind settle. In his dreams, he became a light leaf floating on the clear water of a stream. There was no rush, no weight or tension, only the gentle flow of the water rocking him with tenderness and trust. The leaf didn't fight the current or try to choose its path. It simply surrendered to the journey, allowing every turn and swirl to carry it where it needed to go. In that dream, the young man felt a deep freedom, a sense of being whole without needing to add or take away anything. When he woke, that peace stayed with him like a hidden treasure in his chest. His worries no longer seemed like insurmountable mountains, but small waves he could calmly cross. "Keep it simple," he whispered to himself, a smile lighting up his face. "I need nothing more than the present moment, right here and now. In that simplicity, I find the strength and freedom I was searching for." The young man understood that true wisdom isn't in complicating life, but in embracing simplicity with love and acceptance. The days passed, and the young man slowly transformed. He no longer searched for complicated answers or drowned in doubts. He learned to live simply, accepting what came and letting go of what left. Before leaving, he sat one last time with Soren in the wooden cabin, beneath a sky painted in shades of orange and blue. "Thank you, Master," he said calmly. "Now I know life doesn't have to be hard to be meaningful. I just need to be like the stream, the branch, and the leaf, simple, flexible, and at peace." Soren smiled and added, "Always remember that simplicity is the path that leads to the heart. When the mind quiets and life feels light, true freedom is found." The young man took a deep breath, feeling an open space in his chest, like a temple without walls. And so, with the soft light of dusk, they sat in silence, reminded that sometimes the deepest truths are found in the simplest things.